In multi-windowing systems like Smalltalk, the widget and window which has keyboard focus is a very tricky and important concept, and getting it right really affects the fluidity of application usage for the user. Squeak has always had a couple of settings related to this, and I'm proud to report for Squeak 5.1, which is still in development, but when it comes out, it will have two new features which will put Squeak on par with X Windows and GNOME with respect to these features. First, let me just show what the existing settings have always been. Mouse over for keyboard focus. When it's turned on, it means that whatever widget is under the mouse will respond to keyboard input. So as I'm using the arrow keys here or using the filtering capability with the keyboard, it works simply by pointing there. If that's turned off, then the only way to do anything with the application is to click somewhere. In fact, the application doesn't really respond at all to mouse movements. The power of pointing is pretty much eliminated, and the only way to do anything and everything with the application is to poke it one click at a time. So mouse over for keyboard focus does add a little bit more leverage to your gestures, and focus follows mouse extends that to the background windows. So even though this Monticello window is in the background, it still is responsive to keyboard input. And maybe it was, yeah. Okay, so the active window is the one that's on top, and then the focused window is the one that gets keyboard input. So this one is still the active window even when I'm down here, because the active window is also the one which will respond to the desktop command key. So right now this is the active window, and if I close that with the command key, that's the one that it invokes upon. There's another extension related to when you have multiple windows, whether clicking on a window in the background is active upon that first click. So like right here, this actually couples the Z ordering of the window with application input, and this can have some of the same detriments as coupling the widget focus to application input, but not always. You may have like windows side by side, and you want to like go back and forth without having to do extra clicking. So here you can click over here and you can click over here without having to, whereas if this were off, then you first have to adjust the Z order of the window, and then you can, wait a minute, do I have focus on? I still have that on. Let me turn that off. So as you go back and forth, then you have to click. Now there is an exception with these. Squeak has a hard-coded case when it's not in novice mode that even if it's the background window, it'll still accept the closing. Now I've fixed that. Whenever you use this setting, then it truly is honored the window. So even here you click on the X, so you can click safely anywhere without having to negotiate a safe place to click. You have a window in the background, you can click it anywhere, and it won't disrupt whatever contents or selections that you had in that window whenever this is turned off. There's one final setting. This is a new setting, Windows Raise on Click. Whenever this is turned off, it means that Windows won't go active on the first click, and then you can extend that further by turning this off, which means that you can interact with Windows in the background without their Z order being affected, so they can remain in the background. So I'm pretty excited about these features. I use these features. I probably won't use Windows Raise on Click false. I'll probably leave that true because I'm used to that, and I'll probably leave this off and focus follows mouse on. And that to me gives me the best combination, because I've got the power of the keyboard within a quick swipe of the mouse, while at the same time control of my Z order is separate from providing application input. So I think it's the best of both worlds. I'm excited to try this out. I just finished coding this, and now I'm going to try and do real work with this, and hopefully it'll go well.